Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca Gardner and I usually post covers on YouTube, and I also post some other tube content as well as vlogs, live streams, and YouTube shorts. And today, I write YA contemporaries and romances, and today I am going to be doing my writing progress no, a my writing process tag. Um, so so I'll be answering all these questions. Possibly we'll see how this goes, but without further ado, let's get started. And by the way, I'm trying to stay quiet because my dad is in a virtual meeting, so hopefully you can still hear me. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the tag. Okay, so the first question is, what genres do you write? Typically, I write YA contemporaries, and sometimes I will jump genres. So like I'll go from YA contemporaries to romance, and then I'll go from there to, well, anyways. And I'm possibly thinking about writing sci-fi, but mainly just like YA contemporaries and romances. So yeah. What setting gets you the most productive? Um, Probably like when I'm writing, well, I usually write um in the kitchen, at our dining table in front of the windows when my dad is not working. Um, so yeah, and also I love to write outdoors, and that's what I usually do, and I miss that, and I would love to do that again. So yeah, um, but basically when I'm not in my room, I like I find settings that gets me the most productive. So yeah. If you have multiple story ideas, how do you go about picking which one to start on first? That is a good question because working I'm mainly working on two projects right now. Um, but like with story ideas. Okay, so story ideas. Um, Typically it just depends on what I want to get published first. Well, I don't know. Um, well, it just depends on what I feel could be like my debut novel, and what I feel like writing, I guess. But like also with my writing projects, like I would like alternate between the two. So I would alternate, but yeah, I would alternate between the two, but mainly with story ideas. Like it depends on what I'm feeling for and what I feel would could potentially be my debut novel. Well, would it depends on what I feel that I would want to be my debut novel, maybe. I hope I'm making sense. Question number 4. How do you outline? Mainly, okay, so I don't really outline. I'm a pantser. So, but like when I'm running out of ideas for like scenes and chapters and all of that, what I would do is that I could write down some of the possible ideas for the the plots for the plot in for the plots and plot and scenes for the story. Um, but that was mainly when I'm stuck. But but I don't really have an outline. It's just um I have something that I do when I get stuck. Okay, question number 5. Do you start your first draft with pen and paper, typewriter, or computer? So when I was 14, I realized that I really wanted to be an author, and I started writing my first story in a journal, and um and I realized that I love storytelling. Um and so that was when I realized that I love storytelling. And then um and so usually I write like in a journal, a notebook, um and and then um in 2020, like as the pandemic was going, like I started writing on my computer, and I started writing stories on Wattpad. Um and then um and so that continued on ever since. So I've mainly been writing stories on my computer. What do you do to get through writer's block? That is question number 6. Um, so I've been watching a lot of writing sprints, and what I noticed is that it these writing sprints help me to stay focused, and um, and they basically help me to um, get some writing done. So um, basically, what I do when I was in a writer's block, and I have been in a while, what I would do is that I would sit down, watch a live stream, even if it's old, and do some writing sprints, and believe me, that would help. Like I knew it helps me a lot. Question number 7. Do you format your project from the beginning or worry about that later? Um, I I basically wait for that later. Like all I focus on when I'm writing is just getting the words out on paper, and I don't worry about the editing and formatting and all of that. So I just focus more on getting the words out on paper and worry about that stuff later. Do you edit as you go or when you're finished with first draft? Question number 8. Um so So I try not to edit as I'm writing the first draft, but when you have Grammarly and all of those little things pop up on your document, like it's just so hard to focus on getting the words out on paper like when all you can think about is like the little Grammarly correction things pop up on the screen. Um, so um, so I try not to edit as I go, but like with when you have Grammarly, it's pretty hard. So um, I I typically would scroll through my document and I would be like, nope, nope, I'm not gonna focus on that right now. I'm just gonna focus on getting the words out on paper and then I'll worry about the grammar stuff later. So, well, and I mainly I'll just worry about the editing after the first draft with the story and voice in general. Question number 9. After finishing your drafts/manuscripts, how long do you give it a break before you start going back over it, or do you give it a break at all? So when I first write my first draft of Forever Changed, like I started the read through and immediately start going into revision. And I don't remember how I was feeling at the moment when I was revising the second draft. Um, but after I completed the second draft, I'm just all like, okay, I'm just gonna focus. Well, I'm just gonna take a break from the draft. Maybe maybe I'll get to sending it off to beta readers and critique partners at some point, but for now I'm just um, putting it aside and focusing on other projects. Okay, so I have to grab my phone because some notifications have been popping up during the video, so I'm just gonna leave it by my side and see what's going on, so I apologize. Question number 10. Is there something that you do, well, is there something that you prefer to get you through writing, playing music, sorry, playing music, TV, having your favorite drink or food? Um, so basically, the main things that um get me through writing is um basically um hmm, well, I mean, like I'll watch movies. It just depends on what movie and um what genre movie it is. Um and um I'll also light a candle. I just love it when um I have some scent in the room and that allows me to focus when I'm writing. So, yeah. And I'll have food sometimes. Usually I eat popcorn, but the problem is with popcorn is that hands your fingers can get kind of greasy and um and like it can get all the grease all over your computer, and I hate it when that happens. Like I hate it when I get grease all over my electronics. But it just depends on the food that I'm eating. If it's food, like I'll probably eat some trail mix, pretzels, um yeah, etc. Just non-greasy, sticky stuff. Question 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions? Not really. Um, I'll 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 write at different times and I'll write whenever I feel like it, but I feel that I should schedule a writing a writing session. Um, in my next video I will be making in my next video I'll probably be making my writing schedule, so make sure you stick around for that. But I think setting a writing schedule will help me. Um, so okay, okay, yeah, but yeah, I think setting a writing schedule will definitely help me. I am so awkward. Like I need to stop saying so yeah um or other things like I gotta learn how to edit. I gotta learn how to be a YouTuber. Okay, question 12. Do you have word count or chapter goals for your writing sessions? Not really. Typically for well, usually for my writing sessions, like if I'm not doing sprints, like I'll just um see what mainly I'll just write for an hour and then um I mean I'll write for an hour and I'll see how many words I've written um in an hour. So, okay, I gotta stop saying that as well. Okay, uh, so I'll basically just see how many words I've written in an hour. When I'm writing, when it comes to chapters though, I like usually for my writing sessions, like I plan to write one chapter per session, and I'm not sure how long that would take me. It just depends on how long the chapter is, but mainly I'll just write in for an hour or two and see, and I'll see how many words I've written during that hour. Are there any quirky things you do to make your projects more fun? I mean, it's nothing, I don't do anything special to make my writing projects fun. I think for my romance novel, Help Her Remember, like I think what I would do is that anytime I see a weeping willow, like I would just take a mental picture in my head of like what this tree looks like with the couple there. Um and I did a drawing for a cover idea for my novel. Um, maybe I'll show it to you at some point, but um, basically I have this weeping willow tree there, and then this bench and this couple sitting on the bench right next to the weeping willow. Like, that's what I was envisioning. And I was also thinking about, like, anytime I go for a walk, or um my family members take me on a drive or whatever, and like if I see a weeping willow, like I'll just take a picture of it. Like, I was thinking about taking pictures of weeping willows and like make a file of it so that I can have something to look at as I'm working on that project. So I'm thinking about it. Like, I think that would be so cool. Question number 14. How do you work on multiple projects at one time? Mainly, 2 or 3 are all that I can handle um at at the moment. Um, what I do is that I would alternate between the two, and it just depends on which project I wrote last in my writing session or the other day. Um, so like, for instance, if I wrote my YA contemporary A Fighter's Last Song like last night, and I'm about to start my writing session, then I would go on to Help Her Remember, and then I would alternate between the two. Question number 15. How often do you research what you're writing? Um, I mean, I'll research. Well, I mean, it depends on how much I'm basically getting out of the research in the story, and if I'm learning so much from it. So like, um right now I'm doing some research about Vietnam War, and I feel, and so far I feel that I'm learning a lot, and I'm still gonna continue researching that. But once I feel that that I've learned everything about a certain topic that my story is about, then that's when I stop my research. Question number 16. How do you organize your projects? So, I'm not really, well, I mean, I don't organize my projects that much. I'm like being a plotter, being a pantser. Um, but if there is something, but like if there is something that I keep track of, so like, so like for my word count, then I would use my bullet journal. Here, I'll show you. I'll use this bullet journal for my word counts each time I do a sprint. And so, like, you can tell, like, I've done so many of these sprints. So, that's the main thing. And I'll also, and I'll also keep a journal for all my research. Um, Research and notes about, about some things. So, Question number 17. Do you reward or punish yourself for achieving or missing your goals? Or missing your writing goals? I'll reward myself um, if I achieve my goals. Um, like maybe I'll go to the bookstore, or maybe I'll go to Crumble Cookies, um, or mainly I'll watch my favorite movie. So like finish, if I achieve my word count goal for the day, then by the end of by so then at the end of the day I can watch the Dark Knight series, because that is the series that I've been watching, that I've been obsessed with. So yeah, but punishing myself though, I mean, there are consequences when I don't achieve my goals, but I don't punish myself, because like there's no point in because I don't see a point in punishing yourself when all you're trying is your best, and when you don't feel like writing, then um you're doing something for yourself, for your health. We're all human, and um and we and there are some things that we don't feel like doing, and it just doesn't make any sense to punish ourselves for not doing something that um we love to do, but we don't feel like doing it. So mainly I'll reward myself, but I don't punish myself if I don't achieve my goals. But I know there would be consequences if I don't achieve my goals. Okay, so we're almost done. Question number 18. There's there are there any works similar to your projects that you look for and use for inspiration and or comparison? So when I was writing um Help Her Remember, I would mainly watch The Notebook, because it's the kind of style that the story was in, but it was in a different time setting, because in The Notebook, the timing the time setting was the time was set back in 1940. In Help Her Remember, the time was set in 1960s. But I still make it so it's the Notebook kind of style. And I'll also watch The Vow, since it has some similar things in the story, like head trauma. Um and for A Fighter's Last Song, the main movie that I would watch is Clouds. Um so that way I can look at so that I can get some more inspiration for my main character, um and how she handles conflict and all of that. So uh mainly I'll just watch movies that are similar to my projects. Question number 19. How early do you wait um to start looking for and hiring editors? I haven't really hired anyone early on when I finished uh Forever Changed. Um well, I've been taking a lot of time off from the story, So I don't know how long that break is going to be, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna find some beta readers, some editors, some critique partners. Um, I just don't know. Um, so, um, it's kind of a hard question for me to answer because I I don't really look for anyone to edit my book early on. So, yeah. Okay, question number 20. This is the last question. You guys are troopers, like sitting through this 30-minute video watching this. If you finished a draft or manuscript, tell us how you felt afterwards. Pick your favorite. If you're not through the first draft yet, tell us how you're feeling about it at this point. So I've finished two drafts of Forever Changed, and each time you finish a draft, like it always feels satisfying and it always feels good. It feels relieving, like you just feel that same amount of relief all over again. And obviously, like we all know that there's a lot of work to do, but like it's a relief that you were able to get this story out. So, you know what I'm saying? So, it always, but like each time you, each time I finished a draft, like it just, like I just feel so accomplished and I just feel relieved that I was able to get all the words out on the page. And that is the video. Um, you guys have been watching me talking about my writing process and for 30 minutes, so you guys have been such troopers. So, um, tagging, so for tagging someone, I don't have anyone to tag, so if you feel inclined to make this tag, can you consider yourself tagged? And you know, it's really fun to talk about like your writing process and what you do um, in your process. Um, and I also enjoy like watching people talking about their process as well. So that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and let me know um let me know how you guys are doing for Camp NaNoWriMo. Did you guys win? Are you guys doing well? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know in the comments some other AuthorTube video ideas, and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so that you guys don't miss a video. And I forgot to mention, if you give this video a like, it will help me, it will help my channel, and it will help the YouTube algorithm and let people know that you guys like my content and that other people will enjoy my content as well. So that will be all for today's video. This is 34 minutes long. You guys are such troopers. Remember to stay happy, stay safe, and stay cool. And I'm off to the moon, and I will be back soon.